Hey, what's up guys? This is D with Kickin Bass TV. Today we're out here at Rocky Mountain Lake in Denver, getting onto some pretty decent sized largemouth bass today. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below and stay tuned. Thanks. Alright guys, so today we're out at Rocky Mountain Lake in Denver. It's Tuesday, March 31st, and just a quick reminder, fishing licenses do expire today, so if you haven't already, make sure that you get out tomorrow and renew those licenses. Ensure that you're not going to pick up a fine for fishing without one, and that money also goes to fund local state parks and state fisheries and keep them stocked so we have fish to catch. So make sure you guys get out there and get that done. Today we're trying to target some more bass with that red craw imitation rattle trap lipless crankbait. And as you can see, the first fish that we caught was a 12-inch rainbow here. These guys can be pretty ambitious at times, and they will go after some baits that you wouldn't normally think that they'd necessarily hit. And it can be pretty problematic because if they try to choke down a crankbait of that size, it can cause some damage. But luckily this guy wasn't too bad, so we threw him back out there and let him go. Well, we moved a few yards down for the next cast, hoping to get away from those trout and maybe get into some bass that would possibly be hugged along this grass line here. But sure enough, on the very next cast, we got another rainbow trout hit the crankbait. This one was a little bit bigger than the first one. Not too bad for a couple of local city lake stalkers, but like we said, we're not interested in catching trout. So we went ahead and popped this guy off. Didn't have any damage to him when we let him go. And I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to get into any bass because the trout were biting so hot, but we went ahead and moved around right before we took off. Decided to run the crank through a little bit of this cover down on the north end, and there is some harder cover to run these crankbaits through because they are definitely not weedless at all, and you will run risk of losing your lure once in a while if you run them too deep. You got 3 or 4 foot of depth here, so we were running them and I was getting snagged up, and then right here we got hit, and I wasn't sure if I was actually snagged or if I had one because this fish was not fighting, it was just letting me drag it in, and it was coming super slow. So sure enough, surfaced, wasn't putting up a fight whatsoever, but he was definitely on the heavier side for the light setup we were using. Pulled him in, popped the crankbait out of his lip, and definitely decent sized bass. Weighed in at 3.69, as you can see right here on the scale. So not too bad considering we were getting ready to take off and not have any bass for the day. So we went ahead and got a picture of this guy, and then we got him a clean release, put him back out there, and not too bad of a day fishing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, the best way to support us here at Kickin Bass TV is to hit that subscribe button down below. Until next time guys, I'm D with Kickin Bass TV.
Subscribe!